Hello, everybody, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for episode 8 of Atari Twilight. Atari Twilight? Apparently I'm Australian. Atari Twilight, Thundercats Ho. Here we have a new cast member. So we're going to do our introductions, introduce this new cast member, find out what character they're playing, hear Greg's crazy recap, and jump right into this game. So let's start off with one anonymous rhinoceros. Mike, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you playing today?
So I'm Mike, the Anonymous Rhino. You can find me on Twitter at BaloneySlap. I'm playing George Butts. He is a 13-year-old god, and yeah.
Wow. Perfect.
He's, the strongest member of the team.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep, that's true. He was at least one person has said that before. One person, being George Butts. Also, guys, I will humble post here. If you like this overlay, Mike did this overlay. He's also offering overlay services for Twitch, people and all that kind of fun stuff. Go check him out on the Twitters there, and go buy some sweet ass overlays like this. With that being said, we'll jump over to Frags. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you playing today?
I'm KW Frags. You can find me here or in the Discord or on Twitter, all at KW Frags. And I'm playing Rob Ott. He's a stuttering little weirdo who's just trying to figure out if he's, the chosen one.
It's true. I think you might be. I think you might be the strongest member of the party.
I'm definitely not the weakest link. I don't know.
It's true.
But I don't know who that could be, but it's not me.
We definitely have a superhero with us. So, speaking of superheroes, Mr. Bitters, who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing today?
I'm Mr. Bitters. I hate everything. You can find me here. That's pretty well all I do. And I'll be playing Jerry Baker. You can't use superhero. He has superpowers.
That's true.
And I want it remembered that I did not shoot the deputy.
That's true. I went back and forth so much about what gift to use for tonight. It was either I shot the sheriff but I didn't shoot the deputy, or I fought the law and the law won, or a Grimlock gift and the Grimlock one won out. So, speaking of Grimlock, Metamancer, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And tell us what character you'll be playing today.
Hi guys, I'm Metamancer. I do roleplay and writing and art. I do a lot of things. You guys can find me on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Metamancer, on Twitter at @TheMetamancer, and then I'm often on Encounter Roleplay. I run a City of Mist campaign for them on Thursday evenings. And today I will be playing Shannon Locke. She is a badass girl, 14-year-old. I don't know. And she's going to kick your teeth in. That's pretty much the big thing there.
True. That's true.
So prepare yourselves.
Yeah. I'm not ready for this.
Nobody's ready for that, man.
No. We're never ready for what Greg does. But Greg, tell us, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And tell us a little bit about Atari Twilight.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to Atari Twilight.
Atari Twilight.
I am Grimjack21502, and this here is we're coming back after a 2-week hiatus. We have Shannon coming in now, formerly an NPC, now a PC, as she begins the second half of the season to further describe what the strange phenomenon that are occurring in Garrett, Maryland. Now, with our cast and crew that we see before us, this will be the very first episode, this episode entitled Thundercats Ho. And as this episode is the very first of the series that will start off right where the last one, Public Enemy, ended. So as the events of Public Enemy went to curtain, so too will the curtain rise here for Thundercats Ho. So to set this up and before we can go forward, we have to go back. And previously on Atari Twilight, we had several things happening as the former companion NPC of the group, Ben McKenzie, was placed into a bit of a violence-induced coma, currently residing at the Garrett Memorial Hospital. The rest of the group scrambled trying to figure out exactly who perpetrated this crime, how did this happen, and everything that they were told, warnings found in a bowling alley restroom to beware a six-fingered man, led them or to the Starlight skating rink bathroom, I should say, led them to the bowling alley where they found out that none other than the chief of police was the person that was responsible for their friend's abuse. And so as the events of last episode kind of unfolded, we had the group doing several things. They began to investigate exactly what they needed to do to proceed, which led them to the UPS depot, where they were told by none other than the radio transmission that was going into Rob Ott's Transformer helmet that Optimus Prime himself had sent them something, a package that was labeled Grimlock. And so as they descended upon the UPS station, they were confronted by not only officers from the Loop, but none other than the same chief who had injured their friend. And as shenanigans ensued, the team was split, with George and Rob acquiring the package and heading back to their headquarters at the Grav Truck Graveyard, with Mitch running into Edgar Allan Poe Middle School, trailed by two of these Loop officials, people that they had labeled before as Decepticons. And as Mitch had gone into Edgar Allan Poe Military, or Edgar Allan Poe Middle School, he went in there and these two military-esque creatures followed him and were rendered inert by none other than their science teacher, Mr. Derry. But where Mitch ran into the middle school, Jerry Baker ran into the woods, and with him followed the chief of police. As he engaged the chief in the middle of the woods, the chief drew a gun, and Jerry revealed what had happened to him earlier in the season. And as electricity flooded around the young man, pulling the gun from the chief's grasp into his own, we ended the episode with Jerry revealing the name of his fallen friend, Ben McKenzie, and firing the revolver. But before we go forward, we have to go back and we have to introduce somebody now that has witnessed all of this from a third eye perspective, a Teletran 3, if you will. And as Shannon Locke has been trailing this group, convinced that they had something to do with the disappearance of her friends back in June, of the events that followed the meeting of the theater in the Predator, where her friends had gone down into the junkyard, never to return. Two of them anyway. The third going to, for lack of a more colloquial term, an insane asylum downstate. And as Shannon had followed these kids, intent upon finding out exactly what they knew about her missing friends, she came to the realization that they were into something that was well beyond them. And as she learned more, she watched more, she followed more, and Shannon bore witness to everything that happened at the UPS depot. And for the first time tonight, I'd like everybody to take a drink, as I am going to direct you to tonight's first song, which happens to also be the title track or the theme song of one Shannon Locke. So if you could, please cue up Sunday, Bloody Sunday by U2 as we go back into the world of Garrett, Maryland. It is cold. It is October. It is in the highlands of this state. There is danger afoot. There is a war coming. And only these five stand to fight it. Shannon, you have been watching the events that unfold in the UPS station. You see chaos. You see that there are almost government officials from the Loop station, the almost semi-nuclear accelerator that houses a lot of the potential of Garrett. A lot of the employment of Garrett is at this kind of mag station. Several of these officials had shown up here at the UPS station intent upon some objective that you're not sure exactly what it is. You saw that the arrival of the chief of police also prompted an addition to this chaos. And the group that you had been following, made up of Mitch, Rob, George, and Jerry, splintered. And while you were watching from afar, you saw Mitch head towards Edgar Allan Poe Middle, George and Rob head towards the direction of the grav truck graveyard, and Jerry head towards the forest. For the first question and the direction of this campaign, I will ask Shannon, who do you follow?
Ooh. So exciting. I don't know. George isn't alone, right?
George is not alone. He has Rob Ott with him.
But Mitch and Jerry are alone, right?
They left alone. Mitch was being pursued by two of the officials from the loop. Jerry was being pursued by the chief of police.
Oh, crap. What do I know about the chief of police versus the weird government officials?
You would know that the chief of police, because of your observation, Shannon, as I said, Shannon is a highly intelligent person. You have come to the conclusion that the chief has something to do with the hospitalization of their friend, Benjamin McKenzie. You're not sure exactly what, but it seems that ever since the boy was put into the hospital, the group has spent most of their time either harassing, observing, or trailing the chief.
Okay. So there's good leads on either end. Think I might do a roll on this one, guys, because I'm just gonna leave it to fate.
So I'm curious, does Shannon know, or does Meta know what Shannon knows about each of us? Other than that, there's a weak link among us?
No, because I gave Meta the information that Shannon would have been able to glean about you all. So okay. You are known to be a close-knit group. George is the only one that she has directly interacted with to this point.
Well, except for the bathroom.
Well, the bathroom she ran across all of you all, but as far as a one-on-one basis, George is the only one that she has actually kind of introduced what she intends. And so from that point forward, Shannon has been trailing you all. She knows from an observational point of view where you've been, but not what you've done.
Shit.
Yeah, so Mitch is a 1, and then Jerry's going to be 2. So I'm just rolling a straight 1d2.
I'm number 2.
Well, guess I'm going to the forest.
Okay, so as Sunday, Bloody Sunday is playing through the air in the hills of Garrett, Maryland, Shannon, you see almost as I explained it narratively last time, and as the iconography and images of the 80s tend to bleed their way into this campaign, much like Daniel LaRusso was running from the Cobra Kai in Karate Kid, across a field heading towards a fence and potentially salvation, Jerry was running across a similar field, trailed not by the members of some infamous karate dojo, but by the chief of police of Garrett, Maryland. And as he ran, he hopped over a fence, quickly followed by the chief of police, and he entered into the thick woods of Garrett, Maryland. You are a beat or two behind, Shannon. And it is at this time, as I ask the rest of the group, and so I will ask Shannon, do you ride a bike?
Oh, do I ride a bike? I feel like that's not cool enough for Shannon, so I'm going to go with a no.
Okay, then I will ask you this. As Shannon is a year older, and she is 14 as opposed to the 12 and 13-year-olds that we have, would Shannon have something mechanical? Would she have, dare I say, a dirt bike?
I was about to suggest that if she could have like a bike, like a motorbike, that would be preferable.
Absolutely. We are going to give you a dirt bike.
Nice.
We're not sure how many C's. We're just going to say just a generic 1980s dirt bike.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the finger guards over the handlebars. It's affixed with the plastic reinforced kind of plating that some of the earlier 80s dirt bikes would have. We're also going to say that because Shannon is Shannon, this thing is tuned up to a purr. And you are able to descend from your observational point, Meta, and Shannon is able to quickly get to the fence where the chief and before that Jerry jumped over. And at kind of quietly rumble up through the grass, what do you do?
I'm gonna jump the fence or maybe listen. I think I would listen first to see, like, hear if they're walking away or if they're still around.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do the first roll of the season for you as let's do an investigate roll just to see if you catch anything.
Okay.
You do. You hear them kind of creep into the forest. They're not making, actually not creep, they're kind of crashing through the forest. You don't hear any type of stealth being involved, but they're just out of earshot and you hear perhaps not raised voices, but intent voices as you cut the engine of your dirt bike.
Okay. If I hear them, like, not even trying to pay attention if anybody else is following them, I would jump the fence and then sneak up to get a closer look.
Okay, go right ahead and roll me then a sneak as you creep forward into the dying autumnal forest of Garrett, Maryland. Okay. So, Shannon, as you creep up, you see what would become the end of a conversation. And you bear witness to not only the standoff between a boy that you know to be the tough kid in the group that you've been observing, Jerry Baker, but also a decidedly violent stance by the chief of police as he pulls a gun on this boy. And though you're still a little bit too far away to hear exactly the whispers that are exchanged between these two beings, at one point you see electricity begin to arc and jump over the young frame of Jerry Baker. And a moment later, the firearm that was in the hand of the chief is ripped free and ends up in the hand of Jerry Baker. And as Jerry, now covered in these arcs, spittles, and spurts of electricity, stares down at this man, this chief of police, Jerry, what do you say to him?
I believe I only had 3 words. It was Ben fucking McKenzie.
Shannon, you would hear these words, all 3 of them, and you would know that the first and the last were both the name and surname of the boy that ended up in the hospital. The middle word, of course, being fucking. And then as you bear witness, you see Jerry Baker pull the trigger. And as the cold shot rings out into the Garrett, Maryland air, a shot that's not unfamiliar this time of year, as hunting, not necessarily a national pastime, but definitely one in this community. I would like you to roll for me. Let's do and this is for Jerry as well. I would like give me a straight mind roll, please, from both Jerry and Shannon.
Not my strong suit.
Okay. Shannon, you bear witness to the following. The bullet goes off, and you see Jerry drop. You're not sure if he has been hurt by this electricity, if he's passed out, if he's dead. But the bullet that leaves the gun is trailing and being pulled by this electricity, almost as if somebody has tried to serve a tennis ball through Jell-O. It makes it fast at first as it cuts through this electricity, but then it is pulled almost to a standstill as it comes to rest about an inch in front of the face of the chief of police. You see the front of Chief Rugen's pants become darker as he relieves his bladder. You see his eyes loll up into his head, exposing the whites, as he passes out as well. The bullet drops harmlessly to the ground. You are the only one left up, Shannon.
Damn. All right. I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna check Jerry's pulse, make sure he's alive.
No roll required, because as you look down, and where are you checking? Neck or wrist?
Wrist. Neck is a little too personal, Jerry. Sorry.
As you go to grab hold of his hand, you feel a spark as if you had walked across a carpet with socks on, kind of shuffling your feet and generating static electricity. Doesn't give you or cause you pain, but it's an odd sensation to touch somebody and feel that discharge. And as you kind of recoil back a bit, you reach down to feel the wrist, but you don't even have to touch before you can actually see the pulse in the veins at the joint. You can see and as you look, you can see the veins in his neck as they pulse, and it's almost as if they're ready to burst from his body. The boy is very much unconscious.
Okay. Well, if he looks like he's alive and breathing, then I'm gonna go over to the sheriff, right?
Yes.
And see if they look the same or not.
When you get over to the chief, go ahead and roll me an investigate, and I'll give you information regardless, but I might give you more if you do well. Okay, you get closer and you kind of smell that kind of coffee laced with alcohol urine that's coating the front of his pants. You also see that the bullet itself that is dropped into the dry leaves of the Garrett, Maryland autumn, the forest floor is smoldering a bit. It hasn't caught. Doesn't look like it's going to, cause a fire of any type of magnitude, but it's causing enough of a burn to create that burning leaf smell as you get closer to it. And as the wind picks up and begins to kind of lift your hair off your shoulders, you see that the man is stirring, but as he stirs, you see that the muscles of his neck, his biceps, any skin that's revealed seems to be firing, seizing and releasing, as if it were under the actual current of electricity. You see him kind of different parts of him seize and release. And even though he's unconscious, you can see that his body is turning and arcing with these contractions.
Oh boy. Would I even know anything that would do this from, like, I don't know. You said she's smart, so like from studies or anything else related to electricity specifically and how it works in the body, would she know anything?
Roll a mind check, a straight mind check for me, as you're just looking for recall here.
Ooh, nope. First fail.
You look down at this, and narratively how we'll explain it, meta, is Shannon is highly intelligent, but she's never seen this before.
Right.
This is hypothesis. It looks like he's being electrocuted, but there's no electricity present. You saw electricity coming off that other boy. That doesn't make any sense. The human body can't generate electricity like this. These are warring thoughts that are kind of firing in Shannon's mind as, for the first time in her observations of this group, she has been directly confronted with the fantastic. She hasn't seen this before. She has witnessed from an observation standpoint, an audience, if you will, to the exploits of these kids. Now she's in the splash zone. She's climbing up onto the stage with the rest of them. And it's perhaps that type of involvement that has rendered her normally very sharp brain a bit dull. She doesn't know.
Okay. Well, I can't really do anything for him. So she's going to look for the bullet and the bullet casing and pick it up with the edge of her shirt.
Yep. As you pick it up, you can feel the warmth as it kind of goes through your shirt. And at this point, as you kind of kneel down and scoop this up, describe to all of us, what does Shannon look like? And she can be a construction of your whatever you would like.
All right. So Shannon, she's a little bit athletically built, but she's still slender. And she's wearing a really kind of roughed up and weathered leather jacket with like emblems on it and patches that she's added over time. And she's got jeans on and some red Converse. She's kind of just hanging out. It's her comfortable wear, essentially, with a pretty basic t-shirt. Her hair is pretty much jet black, and her complexion is relatively pale, but not super pale. She's definitely out in the sun, like as far as going outside and things like that goes, due to the fact that she has to be around a lot of different places. But yeah, she's got a relatively calm demeanor about her face. But then when she is very emotional, you can definitely tell, if she's angry or upset. So that's pretty much the big stuff. She's dark blue eyes as well for the color.
Nice. So as this jet black straight hair with the blue eyes, almost as if they themselves are laced with energon, what would you like to do, Shannon, as you are faced with both a fallen police officer, a recovered bullet in your shirt, and a fallen boy?
Let's see. I'm gonna make sure that the gun is away from both of them first off, because I don't want to get shot. And then I think I'm gonna try to see if I can't pick Jerry up and get him out of there.
Okay.
Or drag it. Something.
The gun is right there beside Jerry. It has fallen from his grasp. You may do whatever you would like with it. You can throw it. You can take it with you. You can empty it. Whatever you would like to do. The gun is at your disposal for any type of manipulation. Jerry is a bigger boy, so I'm going to have you roll a body, probably a force, to get him in whatever direction you want to take him.
Okay. Wow. Just too heavy, man.
I will let you know too, as is the mechanics of Tales from the Loop, at any time should you wish to call upon either your iconic item or your luck points that you have per your age, you may do so. I'm not saying that you have to do it now, just to remind you that those are also in play for you to re-roll with the luck. And with the iconic item, we don't really go by the direct attribute that it adds a bonus to. If your iconic item and your pride, I should say, if you want to use your pride at any time, we go ahead and allow a straight, almost like a nat 20 with that, but it's only once per session.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that for this particular situation, I don't think. So what kind of gun was it? Just a pistol?
It looks to be a service revolver of some kind. If Shannon has any type of firearms knowledge, it looks just to be like a 38.
Okay. She's gonna wipe it down. She's gonna wipe down the prints.
Okay. Describe to us how she wipes down the prints.
Yeah, so she would lean down, grab the end of her t-shirt, and with both hands on the inside of her t-shirt, and start just going around, especially focusing around the trigger, and then the handle itself, so that she can make sure that there's no prints evident.
Okay. You feel that you have thoroughly wiped down the gun. Both the chief of police and Jerry have not stirred in the 30 to 45 seconds it's taken you to do so.
Okay. This is a tough call. I don't think I can move him. I'm worried about leaving him here, but at the same time, I don't know if the chief of police is gonna die from the seizures that he's supposedly having. Like, I don't know what kind of long-term effects the whatever electrical shock is causing. So,
Meta, I'll tell you this. I will allow you to roll a mind roll, just a straight mind roll for Shannon. And given the results of that, I will see if anything kind of passes through in this kind
just
of
gonna fail all of them for the rest of the night.
Okay. Yeah, it's a situation that you don't really find yourself in, where you've kind of stumbled upon a OK Corral type of standoff between a preteen teenage kid and the chief of police. They're both down. Your motorcycle is on the other side of the fence. At this point, it's Shannon's call how she wants to affect this scene further, whether she's already wiped down the gun, she's removed the bullet. Is there anything else that Shannon Locke would like to do?
She's gonna empty the rest of the revolver, just scatter the bullets with, again, not touching anything with her hands, but she's focused on like screwing the evidence up as best she can at this point.
Okay, as you kind of twirl you open the cylinder and kind of spin out the bullets that are inside the 38. Roll me and investigate as you are doing so.
Okay. Oh, well, there we go. Finally.
With this success, you hear that the chief is beginning to stir. You don't think that he's regained consciousness, but you hear the kind of like the birthing pains of a reawakening as is coming from the older being.
Oh boy. Crap. Okay. That's not good.
And everybody, as we're listening, I would like you to just cue up, just put it in the background, put it on a 2 or a 3, a little Causing a Commotion by Madonna. Just right in the background, just a little bit. Go right ahead, Meta.
Okay. Crap. This is super bad. Could I try to, like, I don't know, move his body, like, even a little bit to, like, behind a tree or something?
I will tell you this, Meta. You don't think that you can move Jerry just because the boy is dead weight and he's big.
Okay.
But you do have a motorcycle.
Yeah, but there's a fence.
You can get around that.
Okay. If I could get around it, how long would it take me to get around it? That's the question.
Well, I tell you what, we would probably have to do a move roll anywhere between 30 and 90 seconds.
Okay.
As the chief is...
Does the dirt bike give me a movement bonus?
Yeah, we're going to make you roll the movement, and we'll give you a +1 to that, because once you get to the dirt bike, it is finely tuned. So It'll act as an item for this movement roll.
So do I click the, I don't remember how this one works in Roll20. Do I click on the dirt bike roll?
You should be able to, or you can just go ahead and click on the move roll and just click your die up 1, and that'll give you the.
Yeah, I'm gonna just do that. Did that dirt bike plus? Yeah. Okay. There. Whoa. Okay.
So, describe to us, Meta, how Shannon is able to not only make it back to her dirt bike, clear the fence, fire up the engine of the vehicle, but get it back to Jerry in under 30 seconds.
I think that she would basically hurtle back over the fence, turn the bike around, and take basically a driving start to jump the fence, like trick shot style. Like she would totally Hollywood it 100%.
You're gonna Steve McQueen the fence?
Yeah.
Oh, greatest thing. Okay. All right. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm totally down with this. Okay, so in perfect Steve McQueen Great Escape fashion, where you kind of begin to do that little jump of your own before you reach where you want to lift off with the bike. Anybody that would be watching, and who knows who is, Shannon expertly lifts the bike off the ground just at the rise of a small hill, clears the fence, lands in the leaves on the other side, and within seconds kind of spins up to the fallen form of Jerry.
All right. Can I get him on the bike and then GTFO?
In describing a Steve McQueen sequence, you don't have to roll. Fuck yes, you get him up on the bike. And you can, so you're able to kind of sling him almost Red Dead Redemption, I just warrant style, and you flip him over the back of the bike as he's kind of laying arms and legs, dragging a bit as you fire off. In which direction would you like to go, Meta? Do you want to take Shannon and Jerry deeper into the woods, back north towards Garrett? You do know that the hideout where these kids have kind of spent most of their time lies to the south in the grav truck graveyard.
I would probably make my way towards the graveyard, but I don't think I would do a direct shot there because if I've been observing, I'm guessing that the police know where they hang out, but I'm not sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, in your observations, you know that the chief has been looking for this particular group, but much like the mechanics of Tales from the Loop kind of lend itself to, nobody has connected the dots that this group is hanging out or has a hideout at the grav truck graveyard except you. You figured it out.
Okay, I wouldn't go a direct shot though. Just in case I am being followed, I would make sure to kind of take my time to get around it. Being conscious of the fact that Jerry is passed out on the bike.
Okay. And because I can, and because this is one of my favorite parts of this game, Jerry, Bitters, as you're starting to kind of come to, you can feel the vibrations of this bike beneath you as you're kind of slung over. Your stomach's on the back of the bike, probably more on the seat than Shannon would be, as dirt bikes aren't necessarily that big or even really built for two. But as your body is slung over, maybe your boots are catching gravel whenever she takes a left-hand turn. But for those of you that are watching this scene, as I am and everybody on Twitch and YouTube will be, cue up Cutting Crews, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight for me, please. And Jerry, as you kind of come to and the blur of grays and whites become a rush of rocks and dirt beneath you as this bike is being expertly driven through the woodlands and the wilds of Garrett, Maryland, you kind of shake and turn your eyes and look up to the rider, and you see the blue eyes of Energon and the jet black hair trailing back as the girl you know as Shannon Locke is driving away with you on a kick-ass motorbike.
I imagine when Jerry wakes up, he probably like starts, and his weight may throw off the balance for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And like as he glances up to see who it is this real life?
Oh, God. Good morning, dumbass.
How did I get here? Where are we?
She's gonna slow down the motorbike, because this is awkward, first of all, and just the whole thing. Yeah. So she's gonna slow down until she comes to a stop carefully, and kind of like motions him to get off of the motorbike. She's looking at him like she kind of got like she crossed her arms in front of her, very much a side hip pose, just looking very disappointed. She's like, so you remember anything?
Yeah. What happened though?
Well, you passed out, and then I dragged you onto my bike and got you out of there. Because you did something really stupid. And weird. Also, mostly weird. Did you know you could do that? Whatever that was.
Shoot a cop? He killed Ben.
Oh my God. No. I know people can shoot people. I'm talking about the weird electric stuff that was coming out of you. Around you. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about that. Is he alive?
Yeah, he was alive and pissed himself. So, that's great and gross. It was so gross. It smelled like, never mind. I don't even want to think about it. But why do you really think that shooting a cop is, the best solution? Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of the police personally, but not the best and brightest idea.
He was wearing Ben's watch. I couldn't. No, it was stupid. I know it was stupid. Listen. Thank you. Okay? But we gotta find the other guys.
I was kind of on my way in that general direction.
Hey, Butts said you were gonna kill us.
I mean, if I was gonna kill you for real, I would have done it and left your body there instead of carrying you. You're not, the lightest person to pick up and get onto a motorcycle.
Right,
okay?
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. I mean, if you'd like, I could totally just kill you right now, but that doesn't really help me.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try.
I mean, you don't know what I did with that gun.
That's true. You don't know what I did with my fingers.
That's gross.
Not like, listen, let's just go. You know where the grav truck graveyard is?
Probably, yeah.
Let's go there. We
Okay.
gotta meet up with the other guys. It's important.
Okay. You're riding bitch, though.
Yeah, that's fine. You should see my bike. My parents won't let me take it out, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like a bicycle?
Pretty much. But
okay, let's go.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I had to let the awkward hang there just for a couple
Yep.
extra
Yep.
Beautiful.
as Shannon kind of saddles back up onto this bike, and Jerry, as you would kind of now with more of a conscious awareness of the bike, it is, Mitch would be proud. This bike is in perfect shape. It looks as if it has been well taken care of. And by the fact that you were able to negotiate this far into the forest without either A, you falling off, or B, not waking up until now, speaks volumes in your mind about the experienced nature of Shannon's ability to negotiate this vehicle. And as you are left with the decision, Jerry, Shannon is aboard the bike. She has commanded you to ride bitch. But I will, of course, ask, as player agency is always prevalent, what does Jerry do?
Jerry probably tries to figure out a way to be dignified about it, but he's just too large. Eventually, he will just, plain and simple.
Okay. So at the very moment that Jerry kind of reaches back to hold the rear flat, and that doesn't work, and kind of tries to grab the seat to stay on, and realizes he's going to fall off if he does this, as soon as he kind of laces fingers and holds on to Shannon, I would like everyone to play Prince's You Got the Look as they begin to go through the forest of Garrett, Maryland, and head closer towards the grav truck graveyard. But as Prince's, the first notes of You Got the Look begin to trail off, just as our motorbike driver and passenger go deeper, we pull back up into the air of Garrett, spin as if we were a mechanical bird flying in the sky. And instead of looking towards the grav truck graveyard and the trajectory of a bike, we instead turn back north to Edgar Allan Poe Middle School, as at this very moment, Mitch has pulled himself out of a puddle of water created by a destroyed fountain, and as something very much resembling a frayed extension cord has been dropped into the puddle, frying the two people that have been following him from the loop, you turn your eyes, Mitch, to Mr. Derry.
Didn't he say something at the end? Something like fucking robots or something like that. I think he like scrambles right out of because he's backing away from this puddle, because I think they grabbed him through the puddle, and he like scrambles back and he says, "Mr. Derry, you know about that?"
Yeah, get on out of here, Mitch.
No, what the hell?
Mitch. And for the first time, you can tell that Mr. Derry is staring right at you. His small kind of late 20s, early 30s frame just faced up, almost squared up to you as if he's going to fight you. You need to get out of here, Mitch.
I think Mitch hesitates for a second, and then he reaches into his jacket, and you hear that telltale click, and he jams his Mitchy-talkie into his chest and says, "Take this." And then he, like, without letting, like, when you do the instinctual grab, he lets go, and he starts to book it out of the front entrance of the school.
As you run out of the school, past into the faculty parking lot, and you pass the Subarus and the Volkswagens that are there, and you just kind of crash out through the area, in which direction does Mitch run?
He would assume, so he lost his tail, the cop isn't chasing him, he would assume everyone would have returned to the grab train graveyard. And he saw, right, he did see Butts and Rob take that package, right?
He saw them leave with it, yeah, and you caused the distraction with the backup of the truck, or the police car.
The police car, yeah. Yeah, I think their bikes were parked out front. I think he would take the bike and get the hell back to the grab train graveyard as soon as possible.
You would also see that Jerry's bike is still there.
Shit. Yeah, but he saw Jerry running with the cop, so I think he would assume that Jerry would have lost him, and he'll either cycle back or he won't, but he'll meet him at the graveyard. So I think he'll take the bike and like put it somewhere else out of the way, so like you can't see it just by looking at the front of the school. Like he'll drop it behind the side of the school, or like by a tree like a little bit off in the distance, and then take his bike and get the hell out of there.
Okay. Yeah, you're easily able to. It's just one bike, so
Yeah.
you can stash it just about
Picks it up,
anywhere.
stashes it. He gets on his bike and he's pedaling his ass off towards the that side of town.
Okay. And so as this chaos seems to die down, at least in the perspective of the kids, as they've left the area of engagement, we will now go back up into the Garrett air and again turn south, past the pedaling of Mitch, past the revving of the engine of Shannon and the passenger of Jerry, down into the grav truck graveyard, where these large rectangular kind of large, these structures that are bundled together, these former grav trucks that are still floating above the ground with this magnetic energy in the fields that they ride on. And we see now inside the hideout, the Falcon, Teletran 2, Astrotrain, the hideout of the kids. We have George Butts and Rob Ott as they open up this package, revealing two distinctly or very odd parcels. One, a picture of Shannon and the word Grimlock written on it, and also the instructions how to make Cybertron. What do you do?
Okay. Now what? Rob?
I don't remember who opened it. Who actually? I opened it.
Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna hand you the picture while still kind of looking over the. Now, is this thing like a pamphlet? Is it a book? Is it like a USB chip that says how to Cybertron?
It seems almost like a screenplay that somebody has sort of printed themselves, cast with a 3-hole punch, and it has those brass kind of split fasteners that go through. You would guess it's probably around 100 pages, maybe more.
Okay, so he's gonna hand you the picture and say, What? He's gonna hand you the picture while kind of flipping through the pages of the manual while you figure out what the picture deal is.
Okay. So was I just spacing out, or did we not get a description of the picture?
No, the picture is of Shannon.
Oh, is of
Yeah.
Shannon. Okay.
Yep, the picture is of Shannon, and probably would be most recognizable to George, as he's had the most interaction with her. You would also notice that this picture appears to have been taken. It's not a school picture or a picture that Shannon has posed for. It's almost as if somebody took it from like slightly off center, as if it were a candid shot.
No, it's Shannon. So that explains she already saw, the signs in the back.
George.
Yeah.
This is instructions on how to build Cybertron.
What's Cybertron?
Oh, I forgot. I was like, we've all been doing this whole thing the whole time, but I forgot you're I'm too good for.
Mm-hmm.
It is Optimus's home planet.
How do you build a planet, dude?
I have no idea.
Well, apparently you can do that in 100 pages.
It's bound nicely, though. Just gonna like tap it. So,
Okay.
What does the picture mean?
I mean, we were supposed to. This has to do with Grimlock, who is Shannon, apparently.
Yeah.
As far as there, she already confronted us, so we know that she's not stupid to the Decepticons being here. So we have to find Shannon. But maybe before we find Shannon, we got to find the other two idiots who got us out of that trouble. So maybe we got to go and get them out of trouble.
What time of day is it? Like, is this like nighttime? Is this midday? I forgot what time all the shenanigans start happening.
I think after everything that has happened here, you're right around 2 p.m.
Okay. All right. So sleeping it off, not an option. Oh man, I don't even know what Rob would do here in this situation. We gotta find Shannon, and we find Mitch and Jerry in the process. Just kind of canvass the area for all of them.
I don't think we should go too far though. They might be coming. They might know once you lose your tail, then you come back here. So maybe they're already on their way.
So one stay, one go, or do we?
Somebody should be here for the walkie-talkie, and you have to stay within walkie-talkie range.
Oh, okay. Well, be careful out there.
Leaders lead from the front, and he walks out the front.
Okay, so as you walk out and begin to climb down the rope ladder that leads from the grav truck that you guys call your hideout down to the actual floor resting beneath these lifted vehicles, you hear the rev of a dirt bike as you turn without the need of an investigate roll, and much like driving through a column of leaves that are being swept back by the dirt bike's passage, you see the approach of Shannon and Jerry on the back. Shannon and Jerry, you arrive in whatever dramatic fashion Shannon deems necessary, and you are now with George and Rob.
I think that the motorbike, as she pulls up to the side at the speed, kind of pushes the dust and gravel up onto their like shoes as the bike comes to a stop.
George definitely gets right on his Mitchy talkie and says, "My pro detective skills, I've already found them. Bring them in." Detective Bus.
Rob, you would hear the incredible revelation.
Yeah.
Over.
Rob's gonna be all clear to bring them on. Over.
All right, I'll let them know. Over.
Okay. Over. Rob just wants the last word. He's in charge, so he has to have the last word.
That's an affirmative. Over.
That's all he's just gonna.
But he makes the noise.
Yeah.
He makes the noise, right? That's the last word, is the... Right.
So Jerry has a sudden urge to warn Shannon, look, I know these guys are kind of idiots, but they're all right. I promise.
She just stares at you with like the most like, are you kidding me right now face. He just raises an eyebrow and motions you to like go.
Shannon, for you, and Meta, more importantly for you, as you're looking upon this area, you see these large rectangular trucks that were used to transport any number of materials through the continental United States, at least the kind of the northern stretches of the U.S. Whenever they start to kind of fail and die, they are brought here to Garrett, Maryland, and in a kind of three side by side and a 3 stack, they're kind of cubed up together and lashed until they can be repaired or the parts kind of salvaged. But because of the inexpensive nature of loop technology, they seldom are. And so several dozen of these like 3x3 cubes kind of float in this area. And one particular 3x3 cube has been confiscated by this group, and the very center truck has been turned into their headquarters. You know this because a rope ladder drops down from the elevated 10 or 15 feet from the ground up into these floating dead vehicles.
Huh. Super secret hideout, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay. Do you have like sodas up there? Because I'm actually pretty thirsty.
Yeah, you know what? You saved my ass. I'll let you in my secret stash.
Okay.
Just follow me and try not to kick Butts' ass. It's hard, I know.
I mean, his name's Butt, so.
Yeah, right. Low hanging fruit.
Yep. A little bit much. That's okay. He's probably too afraid to even talk to me.
Yeah, you would hope so. And I think Jerry will like lead the way towards the rope ladder.
Okay, and you guys are quickly able to ascend. You are inside the area. By the time it takes you all to get up in there, Mitch, you will be coming down the path to this and probably would see whoever was the last person to climb in, whether it would be Jerry if he was leading the way, but more likely Shannon as you would see her enter into your hideout.
Hi, Butt.
It's Butts. You know this already. We spoke before.
I know.
Yep.
She's just smiling at you.
How far is Mitch?
You would be kind of, as soon as Shannon disappeared into the vehicles, you would have been riding up to kind of catch her last couple rungs of climbing before she disappeared in. You would definitely be able to observe her.
So it's definitely not Sam.
Oh, it's definitely not Sam. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. It's like, it could be, I mean, any girl, really. It could be Sam at this point.
Yeah, with George Butts being there, it could be any girl.
All right, definitely Shannon. Yeah, I think he kind of pedals up, right, and sees the dirt bike, and is slightly more confused. And I think like as someone starts to pull the rope up, it gets tugged back down. He's like, "Wait!" And he starts to scramble up the rope ladder. What the hell? What is she doing here?
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Why are you here?
She's
Mitch,
Grimlock.
don't be a dick. Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, and give him the picture.
And he just was right next to Frags.
Why? Where was this?
It's in the box.
That's creepy.
This was the
You
UPS.
guys keeping pictures of ladies in here? What's that?
We're 13-year-old boys. Of course, we're gonna have pictures of.
Whoa. That's not.
What?
Never mind.
What?
We're
What?
going to cut that thought right there.
No,
What?
that's not. No, that's not.
Just don't go in my corner then. So it was in the package from
You
UPS.
didn't get a corner.
Yeah, I got Jerry's corner.
Ben's corner.
Ben's corner.
Ends.
Fuck. That's right. We did.
How many people hang out here? Jeez.
All of us and Sam. And Ben. We expanded it. It's two. Listen, why are you... Wait. Okay. You're Grimlock. Why are you here? How did you get here? Why...
I brought Jerry here.
From...
I'll let Jerry divulge information if he so deems necessary.
Look, she saved me. I shot the cop,
What?
but
No, technically, you tried and failed.
That might be the best thing that you didn't.
Oh,
actually-
no, it's definitely much better than the other alternative.
Did
Sorry.
you see you shoot him?
he had Ben's watch on.
Pretty fucked up. I mean, that's pretty messed up. I don't know if George would say fuck. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
We're not killers, Jerry.
He had Ben's watch on.
So you try to kill him?
Yeah.
tried being the keyword. He did not succeed, so still not a killer.
You know, I
How
can
were
only
you
stick
killing
up for you for so long when you're acting like this.
Well, I'm glad you were just as bad at that as you are at everything else.
Need some cream for that bird.
You guys are dicks. I think Jerry's gonna just like storm away and go to get a Coke for Shannon.
Okay, a warm Coke is quickly produced, but being cooler outside, it's probably, Jerry would think, to be able to position it in such a way that is maybe a little bit less than room temperature, as it's a bit cooler in here.
No, thanks.
But he was real subtle about it when he went to grab it from his little corner of the truck, like everybody doesn't already know where he is.
Rob's gonna Mitch.
What?
And he's gonna like try to like turn his back to everybody else and show you the screenplay, as it were, of how to build Cybertron.
What is it? What am I looking at?
It's instructions on how to build Cybertron.
Greg,
Look.
at a glance, can I make heads or tails of this?
Are you going to open it?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if Rob's handing it to me, yeah.
Okay, so you open to the very first page and you realize that broken down into exceptionally simple instructions, there are both pictures and diagrams of the vehicle that you're currently in, the stripped down, abandoned mag truck, several other implements that you quickly recognize from the area around you here in the graveyard, and the fallen robot in the forest. And as you look, you realize you might be able to do what this thing is telling you or instructing you to do. But what it's instructing you to do, you have no clue.
Okay. Yeah, I think like, Mitch is overwhelmed with shit that just happened, but this is simple to a point of like anyone, even Butts could do it. And I think he like picks up he like takes the book from Rob and sort of like zombie walks over to the workbench and like places it down and meticulously moves a few tools towards the tiny robot he was building, and then just wipes the desk clean, and then kind of plops it down in the center. And he says, okay, I don't know what the hell's happening, but I think I can do this. I think I can build this, guys.
What are you doing
Shannon.
exactly?
Roll an investigate check. Investigate, Shannon. Meta, as Shannon kind of creeps over and looks down at this makeshift workbench that has been kind of set up into this floating rig by Mitch, you see the exposed schematics diagrams that he is looking at revealed in this screenplay type binding. And just with a brief glance as you look down, you realize that you understand this. You can see where part A would fit into part B. You don't know what it's going to make, but much like Mitch, you see the trees in the forest, but not the forest.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm just going to look like I don't know what it is.
I think we have the parts for this, like right here.
Cool. We should build it.
Why, okay, why are you still here?
Why should I leave?
Grimlock.
Shit. The hell does that even mean?
In
Look, she's clearly one of us. She could see the shit. like we see the shit. Nobody else sees it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point,
You could probably beat Jerry's ass too.
and he could. Yeah.
Did you talk to Butch and the guys before they left?
Dutch.
That's what I said. Shannon, Dutch, me, Chris, did you talk to all of them before they left? Or they just leave? You didn't say anything.
They would have just left.
Yeah,
Shannon has no
yeah.
clue what happened.
I don't know what happened to them. Actually, I was kind of hoping maybe you knew. Do you?
No.
Really? Are you sure you don't know?
Yeah.
You didn't see anything?
Yeah, they ran into the woods and got killed by the predator.
You're an idiot.
Isn't the
Yeah.
predator your dad?
I don't know.
Roll a comprehend, Shannon.
Nope.
Look,
You're not sure.
your
Yeah.
idiot boyfriends grabbed Veronica,
Whoa.
dragged her into the woods, we beat their ass, they ran away, 2 of them never came back, and Chris is in a loony bin.
No roll required. This sounds like bullshit to you, Shannon.
That's what we know. Chris was the only one we didn't hit. He ran into the woods and came back like a stuttering idiot and wouldn't answer any questions. And the next
So
thing
you
we
are
know-
just dumb. Like, you guys are just stupid. You
That's
have
a-
no idea what's going on at all.
No, what? There's robots in town.
Oh my god.
We talked to Optimus Prime.
That happened also.
And what did he say?
To find Grimlock. And he hands you the photo of you.
She just like takes the photo and looks at it. Does Shannon know anything about that word?
About Grimlock?
Mm-hmm.
Much of a nerd.
Well, your last name is Locke.
No, I know that.
But yeah, no, Grimlock would be. It depends on how much of a nerd you want Shannon to be. You would know that if she is enough of a nerd, you would know that Grimlock is the transformer that turns into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. If you are a super nerd, you would know that Grimlock is a Tyrannosaurus Rex who is a sometimes kind of not necessarily a willing participant of the Autobots, kind of had his own feelings. He was also not very intelligent, which is not very flattering to be called Grimlock. However, they were incredibly powerful. But that's if you want to be super.
Okay, 1, I am, and then 2, I'm not.
What we're gonna do here is
Damn it.
You're a
I'm a
nerd.
fucking nerd too.
what we're gonna do is, as soon as you see this, Shannon, you realize that Grimlock is this Tyrannosaurus Rex, this Autobot that is, not necessarily sometimes companion friend to the Autobots, but more independent perhaps than some of the other soldiers under Optimus Prime. These words are making sense to you. Optimus Prime is the leader of the Autobots. The Decepticons are these enemy robots. None of it makes sense as it pertains to Garrett, Maryland, though. All you know is there have been strange people here. You've seen this particular group of kids plus Shannon plus Sam kind of following around these weird groups. They're always around these pockets of chaos and puzzle. So you're not sure. It seems to you that you're able to quickly put together, they've labeled these anomalies and these people as Decepticons, which you identify as the enemy. But as you look more and more at this, you see how they're kind of positioning their terminology. It's just crazy to think that there's any type of substance to it. But what we're going to do is we're going to do an 80s montage to speed things up just a bit as the new kind of formed group here looks at the workbench with the exposed blueprints that are there of how to make Cybertron. And as you are all looking at this recipe book to create a foreign alien robotic world, with this being formed, I'd like everyone to, let's do a little El DeBarge might be good right here. Let's do a little rhythm of the night as we cut into our montage that is going to take us to Thursday, November 5th, which will give us time to acclimate past Shannon's awkward, who the fuck are you people and why are you so crazy, to allowing Meta to formulate her own opinions about this group. And so during this time, I would like to know what the group is doing, whether or not it would be, are you pursuing the course set forth in the book? Are you checking in on the chief, on Ben? Let me know and I'll let you know what you find.
Man. I think Mitch just he follows the book. He knows his strong suits, and he's going to make that happen. He still hasn't really gone home since the whole, smashing the bike thing. So it can only be worse from here. So I think that's what he's doing.
Okay. Anybody else have anything specifically you want to do?
Yeah, Rob, since he didn't go to see Ben earlier, now that he feels like the whole slew of visitors are not going to be crowding him, or he doesn't have to worry about anybody else showing up, he's going to go see Ben.
Okay.
Shannon will probably observe for a little while now that she's able to be like within close proximity and actually hear them and see how they act with each other more directly. After a bit, she'd probably start looking around, seeing if anybody was creeping up or anything like that. And then I think she would find out about what happened with the sheriff, because that's a pretty serious situation.
Okay, great. And what of Jerry and George?
Jerry at first would probably just kind of need a little decompress time. He'd probably house some snack cakes. And then make a story up about going to use the bathroom or something, and go kind of just walk off into the woods for a little bit. And then come back and fill Shannon in on all of the ridiculous crap that she's not going to believe and make fun of him for. About the Autobots and the Decepticons and Butts' dad and the Predator and kicking the crap out of Dutch, and he might be dead and they don't know, and everyone keeps saying that he's gone, and then the cop killed Ben, or killed Ben's mom and attacked Ben, and then he had to stick up for Ben, and he can't even go see him. And Jerry probably in telling this story kind of loses some of his cool and catches himself being emotional, but pauses, regains his composure, and gets back into it just to fill her in, because clearly she's tied up in this and he's convinced that she's got some sort of place in fixing everything.
Meta Shannon would believe Jerry.
Yeah.
His story matches up more than Mitch's, even though Mitch's is.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. And George, what would you do, bud?
She's getting the MTV or VH1 Houses of Rich and the Famous style tour of the place, because my stuff's in charm, so it's not like I can help with all the technical stuff. So, of course, when I get to my new corner, which is Ben's old corner, this is where the magic happens.
The best part is the only thing you've done.
And then
is
Shannon
paint
would
a
roll her
terrible
eyes at
bush.
you.
You just painted the shittiest bush outside on the truck. This is the only thing you've done.
This whole thing is a bush now, Mike. All right.
It's all like Kelly Green, right?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
In a
for
field
awesome
of rust. It's green.
Okay, so As we cut the week or so later to Thursday, November 5th, and once again, since we are delving in and we just had that bit of a confession as we cut through the montage, let's do a little Just Like Honey by the Jesus and Mary Chain, which is Jerry's theme song, as we creep back into further into the autumn of Garrett, Maryland. During this time, several things have happened, and the various kids that have branched out, whether it be to see Ben, learn about the sheriff on Shannon's respect, or build, they've come across the following information. Chief Rugen disappeared. He was sought after, he was looked for, but as soon as he had been gone for 2 or 3 days, the local newspaper began running very thinly veiled insinuations that he may have had something to do with Ben's mom's passing. And quickly it was identified that Chief Rugen killed her, and he was considered to be the number one suspect in the murder. You all provided no information for this. It just seems to have been a conclusion reached not just by the newspaper, but by the community of Garrett at large. It is the scuttlebutt. If you go anywhere, the Paperback Exchange, the Red Oaks Bowling Alley, if you go to the pool hall, the market, Chief Rugen, can you believe Chief Rugen? Over and over talking about this man who is no longer in town. He's not reported dead. He was not reported shot. He is just gone. Mr. Derry was also not arrested, not brought up on charges. He also fed the group the name of a student that he believed they were looking for, a boy by the name of Dutch, a boy that Shannon would know very well is no longer in Garrett, a boy that Mr. Derry knows is no longer in Garrett. And so a wild goose chase began that quickly netted nothing, as the investigators from the Loop simply could not find this boy they were looking for. Now, as far as the how to make Cybertron, you were quickly able to, well, let's actually roll me a tinker check to see how far you've gotten. If Shannon is going to help, Shannon can roll a mind check as well. If she is branching off on other avenues, then this is just a tinker check for Mitch.
As soon as Shannon finds out that the Chief's gone, she loses interest and does something with her head, which in this case would probably be helping Mitch where she can. So mind check, you said, for me?
Mind check for you, yes, please.
Damn, dude.
And tinker for...
And I'm using my iconic item, my adjustable wrench.
Go right ahead.
3 successes.
Okay, so you observe this, Shannon, as you see Mitch kind of expertly you look at the pages that are outlined and you think you see it, but Mitch kind of sees beyond maybe 2 or 3 pages ahead and prepares the parts as he kind of scavenges over the next couple of days. Mitch, you have to start cannibalizing parts from the robot that is in the forest as well. Do you do so?
Yeah, I think I dragged him back and had him functional, but...
You had him standing. You did not have him.
Right, that's right. I had him I have no problem. Especially if I can direct it back without having to physically drag it. If I can move it like wires to make it walk towards the place. Yeah, I will absolutely cannibalize that thing.
Okay. So with this first round and the time that you have, you're able to get far enough in that with the parts that you've scavenged around here, the control panel of the grav truck fires back up. It is not being powered by anything that you have done. There are no batteries connecting it. It is not connected to any type of combustible engine or any type of grav-fed mechanism. It is simply alive. And as it lights back up, where once was a trajectory or a telemetry for automated transport in these trucks, now shows a map of Garrett.
Butts.
Yeah.
I need your dad's map.
Yeah. Here you go. It was probably pinned on the wall.
I think it was like magneted up there.
Yep.
But he's in like the cockpit of Teletran too. And as soon as he has this, it's like backlit, right, Greg? It's like a computer screen, I assume.
Yeah, it's like the old, almost like Flynn's arcade green type of computer screen,
like old school. Like old school, like submarine sonar. He's gonna take that. He's gonna take the Butts senior map and overlay it as best he possibly can on top of this screen, and see if he notices anything different.
It's not, as far as proportions, not exactly correct. It's correct as far as the area, but the size of the map that's on the readout is not the size of the map that you have in your hands. However, whenever you're looking through it, it seems that everything landmark-wise, as far as that topo map that you were looking at that was in, it's also a sort of a topo map on this readout. It looks very similar to, since we're going with all 80s references, it looks like the computer image in Escape from New York whenever Kurt Russell is going into the city and he's in the glider and you see kind of like the ridged, raised, green ringed valleys of Manhattan. So that's what you're looking at as you see a three-dimensional rendering of Garrett, Maryland.
But nothing looks different.
It looks identical, which is sort of the same.
Okay. Perfect. He like exasperated. That's not it either. He kind of like hands it, or haphazardly like tosses it back to Butts. I think I have it running, but I don't know what the point is.
What the point is?
Yeah, why did I build this? Like, I know the book told me, like, I know...
Because you felt like it.
It's Cybertron. Isn't it Cybertron, like, Optimus' prime home? Doesn't mean that we get to bring him here?
No, it's a planet. It's a whole giant robot planet. Like, the planet itself is a giant robot.
Well, that doesn't sound great.
Yeah, but all it did was I took apart a robot and rebuilt it. Now the truck turns on, even though it's not hooked up to anything.
What if that means that we can run this truck around and, like, we have a mobile base now?
It's plugged into 9 other trucks, or 8 other trucks. It's super noticeable. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, if we put it in the field, it'll look like a bush, so we'll be okay.
Sometimes I just wish Shannon would kick her ass.
Look, it was Sam's ass that she was going to kick, not mine.
Either one, at this point.
All right.
I mean, if you volunteer yourself, it's,
No, I'll let Sam fight my battles for me. It's okay.
Right.
Okay, so as this is beginning to go through and we have this montage with these various scenes of success and confusion, we end up with the group arriving at Thursday, November 5th. It is the height of homecoming in Garrett, Maryland, as Garrett itself is getting ready for the Garrett versus Somerset high school football game, which is a massive celebration and holiday, rivaling even Christmas here in Garrett. And as the town is decorated everywhere with the Garrett green, you all are set about the normalcy of the school day as you have returned to school. And we, with our last bit of flashback, as everyone else kind of seeds into this moment, kind of reaching the same area, the day of Thursday, November 5th, Rob, you are able to finally get in to see Ben McKenzie. And as you kind of go back into the room, he has been removed from ICU and is in just an extended care facility. And as you look in, you see your small friend, the bruises and the set bones, still a kaleidoscope of colors of yellows and greens and reds. And he lays very still, this small boy, in a much larger bed. What do you do, Rob?
I'm all shaking. No, Rob's gonna walk up to the side of the bed. Is Ben awake? Does he seem conscious?
He seems out of it. No roll required in that, you can hear the steady kind of beep of the heart monitor that he has on. He is not hooked up to a respirator. He's breathing on his own, but he is very still. His head is still wrapped. You don't know the extent of his injuries. You were told at the time, quickly after or shortly after his beating, that there were possible skull fractures. You have no idea if that was actually the case. To look at him, though, Rob, you don't know how anyone could have survived with the injuries that you see on this boy. But he is alive. At least he's breathing.
He's gonna call out to Ben. He's gonna say, Ben? Ben. See if he can get any kind of reaction.
Roll and investigate.
Investigate. Where you at, buddy? Where you at?
It's alphabetical, buddy.
It is alphabetical. Shut up.
So, Rob, as you're talking to Ben, it's a moment as you kind of creep forward, awkwardly approaching your fallen friend. You see the index finger on his right hand that is bandaged and broken, but just peeking out from underneath the plaster, you can see the right index finger seems to be twitching.
Was it not doing it until I said his name?
You don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, you recognized it as you approached. How long it was occurring, you're not sure if you had noticed it or if it just started.
Did it, if Rob pays attention to it long enough, does it look like it's repeating? Is there a pattern to it?
Yeah, with a 2 and investigate, I'll give you that second success, as it looks very much like a pattern.
Ben, are you doing that? Are you moving your finger, Ben?
You see it stop, and then a moment later, you see it tap once on the bed sheet.
Rob's just gonna go, "You are." Are you doing okay? Do I need to get a nurse? Rob's just super excited. He doesn't know what to do, so his first instinct is grab an adult.
There's another pause, and then a quick 2 taps.
What are you trying to say? Is the tapping start up again?
You see that the finger lifts off of the bed sheet, and it kind of hovers over the sheet. And for a moment, it looks as if the fingernail is pointing down towards the sheet.
Rob's gonna pull the sheet back and see. He's gonna see if there's something on that. He's gonna try to figure out if Ben's trying to point to something, or I'm pretty sure this is gonna just add to how dense Rob can be sometimes.
Actually, not at all this time, but
Oh!
As you pull back the sheet, you see that there is, this is a sheet that has a rubber quality to it because you have a comatose patient. This is a hospital. He can't take care of himself as far as, relieving himself. But when you kind of lift up the cloth sheet and get to the rubber undersheet, you see that They're much like when you rub your fingernail over any type of rubber, something is there. Several letters. Roll me a stealth check.
Okay. Stealth or is it just sneak?
I'm sorry, sneak, yeah.
Okay. I want to use one of my lucks.
Okay.
I'm going to do that again. Oh, well, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so as you kind of pull it up and look, you're able to look down and you see that there are several words that are scratched into the rubber through the top sheet and written in this lighter kind of worn friction that had caused this writing. And you see that it says Emerald Ball. And you would know that, Rob, as the homecoming dance. And just as you see that there is more written underneath the right leg of Ben, hey, what are you doing there? Don't lift that up. And you see an orderly walk in. Begins tucking the sheet back in. Don't touch that. Listen,
He looked warm.
Listen, kid, I got this taken care of. What are you doing in here? He's not supposed to have visitors.
He's my friend. I thought I could come see him. Well, why did they let me in if he can't have visitor?
Roll charm.
What?
Listen, time's up anyway. He can't have anybody in here for this long. So say your goodbyes and I'll wait in the door. And he goes back and stands in the doorway. He does turn his back on you, though.
And he's already tucked everything. Okay. Rob's just gonna look at Ben and say, "Thanks. We'll all come back when all this is finished." Okay.
There's a pause, and you see the finger drop to the sheet one time.
Rob's just gonna kind of pat him on the leg as he goes to walk out.
Roll me one last investigate check as you turn and kind of look into the room. With 2, as you turn back and you see the heart monitor that is beeping with the green pulse that kind of indicates the EKG of the heart rhythm. As you turn and look, for just a moment, you see that green blip of the heartbeat turn red, and it looks just like that pulse that goes through the eyes of those people that you've seen before.
Shit.
Greg, you're a fucking monster.
Rob's gonna walk a bit faster and kind of side-eye the orderly as he decides he needs to get his friends. I'm trying to think if Rob would have his Michitaki on him. He
Sure.
He would
Yeah.
have his Michitaki.
With 2 successes, I'll give you the Michitaki as the.
He's gonna get back out to his bike and key up. He's not gonna he is not gonna say anything. He's gonna try to get it out and just he unclicks to try to collect himself.
Who do you think it is?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Beatbox, this is Jazz. Don't forget to say over.
Did you just call him Bebop?
Beatbox. beatbox. It comes out fast, baby. I said beatbox.
Hospital. Ben. Pass.
You didn't say over. Over.
Over. Oh, man.
We already know that Ben's in the hospital. Over.
You asshole. Get here now. Over.
What's happening? Guys, he's still like holding the button down.
Huh?
He's asking us to go to the hospital right now to see Ben.
I think
Okay, so go.
I think visiting hours are over.
Hey, aren't visiting hours over? Over.
Roger.
I can't. I'm sorry, man. You got to stop that. He's Rob. At this point, Rob's almost incoherent over the microphone, and the only thing you can get out of his stammering and stuttering is just get to the hospital.
So, like, after the first couple stutters, he just turns the volume down a little bit, puts it down, and says, let's just go to the hospital while. He's pretty worked up over this, so either he's overreacting, we need to rescue him anyway, or something real is happening, we need to rescue him.
Shit.
So we have to rescue him either way,
Yeah.
is what
Exactly.
you're saying. So why was there an issue?
There wasn't a, I mean, if you don't want to be part of this, you don't have to be.
No, I mean, I could get there faster than any of you. So if he wants us to hurry.
But bring that. I don't have one. And
All right.
he points to the walkie-talkie. Fine, let's go. We have to go.
Which leads me to my next question. As Shannon is very correct in that she, more than anyone else, can make it to the Garrett Memorial Hospital faster than all of you. Do you go by yourself, Shannon, or are you taking a passenger?
Would it slow me down if I took somebody?
You wouldn't be slower than a bike. Maybe slow you down a little bit.
You wouldn't be able to extract Robot either. But then again, he might want to bring his bike with him. I don't know.
I'm going to go by myself because I know that Rob has a radio, and if anything happens, I can get it on the radio and go back to them.
Okay. Mitch, have you made a Mitchy Talkie for Shannon?
Everyone brought their own, and I just set them up. So unless she has her own, no. Because
I probably don't, but I can use Rob's.
Yeah, he hasn't made a replacement for himself yet either.
Okay. Also, just to kind of narratively place Sam, no one knows where she has been. However, the grapevine has said that her parents, their divorce has finalized, and that her mother is leaving Garrett. Sam, even by George's standards and his ability to try to communicate with her, you have not heard from Sam, but you know she's still here. She's still in Garrett.
That's really disappointing. All right.
Shannon, as the rest of you go as fast as you can pedal to Garrett Memorial Hospital, Shannon, you go flying towards Rob. And because it's time for some music, let's play the Whispers Rock Steady, as that is Rob's song. So cue up a little Rock Steady as the dirt bike roars, creating its column and valley of fallen leaves, dust, and memory. And Shannon, you are able to get to Garrett Memorial in 10 minutes. And as you pull up outside, you see that Rob is standing there waiting for you. Do you arrive in a flourish, or are you all business, Shannon?
I'm gonna be calm when I arrive because I don't know who's standing outside the hospital. I don't know if Rob got himself into more trouble while we were on our way. Like, I don't know what's happening, what the situation is. So I'm just gonna get in there, park, and calmly walk towards Rob.
Rob, you see, of all people, Shannon, aka Grimlock, and none of your, let's just be nice and say closer friends.
Where is
They're coming, Rob. I decided to go ahead and she like points to her motorcycle bike thing, right? Like the dirt bike, and she's like, "Okay, what's going on?"
I think the Decepticons are in the hospital trying to get Ben.
Okay.
Okay. They're harvesting him or something. He tapped a message. Emerald ball.
Okay, I have an idea. But you need to cause a ruckus. You have to be like a big distraction, okay?
Okay.
Can you do that?
Bring the noise, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As much as you can make. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Here? Right now?
Go inside and try to get the hospital staff attention so I can sneak in and make sure Ben's okay.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Rob's gonna go and walk into the front area, walk right up to the front desk, and he's gonna pretend to have a heart attack.
Oh my god.
This is the second time that you've done this, isn't it? Didn't you do this like in like the first episode or two? Wasn't this a suggestion for you to have a heart attack?
Oh, I don't remember about the heart attack. I just know Ben heard cause of distraction, and the first thing he could think of was how they cause distractions in the movies. And it's, feign a heart attack or fall over. That's why he's been doing that, when he has to cause distractions at the bowling alley and stuff. He's just, oh no, just, fall over. Yeah.
Okay, I will do this. I will allow you to roll either a charm or a lead, as this is a directed action to gain attention. So it can be a charm to coerce or a lead to command. As soon as you drop down and begin a very realistic cardiac episode, seeing a child drop down wearing a Transformers helmet is one thing. Seeing him having like I said, a heart attack that's convincing, you quickly have the attention of everybody in the opening emergency room area. Even the orderlies that are shortly down the hall. This is a very small place, so Ben's room can almost be seen from the emergency room. Shannon, you see all this happen.
And that's my window of opportunity to sneak in to Ben's room.
Okay. As you get forward, you kind of have to use looking in through the glass walls, and you see the boy lying in the room. And as you get closer, all the lights in the hospital go out. And let's cut back outside as about 3 blocks away, as you all are riding up on your bikes, you see the power go out in the entirety of Garrett, Maryland.
I don't have a response to that, Greg.
What time of day are we looking at?
It's like middle of the day.
It was the middle of the day when we started, but this is Thursday, November 5th. It's right around 4:30, just dusk, just enough to notice there's no power in street lights. There's no power in traffic lights. Everything seems dead.
What about cars?
Roll and investigate anybody that's outside.
I'm not outside. I was just asking because, people.
1 success.
1 success.
Anybody that looks around, you see cars coast to a stop as they kind of hiccup over walkways into sidewalks. You see that cars that had already turned their lights on, you see the lights dim and go out as the bulbs themselves fiercely try to hold the glow, but no longer have the power to do so. Garrett, Maryland has returned to the way it was 200 years ago. Electricity has no hold on it.
Do you guys feel like we're going really fast right now?
No, everything else stopped. And Mitch pedals up towards Jerry, or like gets closer to him, and like reaches out, like he's holding on with his right hand. He reaches out with his left hand and goes to grab towards Jerry's like right handlebar. He's like, "I'll hold this. Check your walkie-talkie." And he's like trying to help Jerry steer as he's going.
Get away!
You need two hands. Work the dial.
I'm fine.
Check if it works.
Look, Jerry will show him that he learned to ride without his hands.
Well, shit. Whatever.
And try his Mitchy talkie.
It is dead.
I don't think you fixed mine right.
Butts, what about yours?
Yeah, I just put batteries in mine because I can afford them. The big 10 on it. Or he tries to, he just does a voice, but he tries to hit the live button.
Nothing.
Oh, fucking imported batteries, guys. We got to start buying American.
Do we know? Because Mitch hasn't been to the hospital, right? He's not on Ben isn't on life support, right?
No, he is not on a respirator. He was on, the only thing that Rob saw him on was just monitoring devices. Predominant one was the heart monitor that he saw.
Right.
But he was not on a respirator.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the hell this is, but we have to find Rob, right?
Yeah, nothing's been a coincidence since this shit started, so.
Yeah, so maybe whatever Rob saw is whatever the hell this is.
Yeah, double time.
Yep. Great.
And as everybody is double timing it with that expert imitation of bike pedaling, please cue up a little Lou Gramm, Midnight Blue, as despite there not being any electricity to power the radios that would play this song, we can always hear Midnight Blue in our heads. So cue it up and let it play as you all arrive in front in time to see through the glass doors that are now kind of halfway open, the automatic doors frozen in mid either open or close. You see several confused orderlies on their knees in front of a downed Rob Ott. As you pull up, you see the motorbike resting outside, but more importantly, let's go inside. Actually, roll me an investigate check for everybody that's still outside when you pull up.
Fails across the board.
Yeah, we're all pretty distracted.
As you guys ride up, you see that the area is dead here. You see that there are many cars in the parking lot of the Memorial Hospital. You see the construction that's going on off to the side for the new annex. You see that off to the other side, you've got the strip mall, and further down a little bit, you'll see that paperback exchange and places like that. But nothing other than the death of Garrett, Maryland. You don't see anything else that's noticeable. But as Midnight Blue plays and we pull away from the bike riders past the very, very convincing heart attack victim, Robot, we go further down the hallway as Shannon, you are now swept into darkness. Do you have anything on you that might illuminate this situation?
I didn't write anything into my sheet aside from character creation, so no.
Okay. So you're working with a very low light that's kind of trickling in from one of the windows. And as you go in, roll me an investigate check as you kind of creep into the room of Ben McKenzie.
Nope.
There's light coming from somewhere, but the source is eluding you.
Okay.
You make it up to the bedside.
Rob said that he had something on the bed, right? When you were saying that. I'm pretty sure he said something about his finger on the bed, but I don't know if it was enough for Shannon to realize what he was saying.
Yeah, no, I think Rob said he wrote something.
Yeah.
Is what he
Okay.
said. But
Okay.
he didn't specify it was on the sheet or anything.
Oh, okay. I thought you said sheet. Okay. Yeah. I mean, she'd probably look around for like a piece of paper or something to see what he wrote because she doesn't want to talk just in case somebody will hear her. So she would look around to see if there's anything. But yeah.
Sure. We'll say that in an effort to keep quiet, Shannon takes a little bit of extra time, but this is an age before iPads and before portable computers in the health field. So there's plenty of paper around. He has a clipboard at the end of his bed. You can even pull a corner off of his observational sheet and the duty nurses that kind of come in to make sure he's okay. So you're able to produce that as well as a pen or pencil in short time, 15, 20 seconds. So you do have a writing implement. What would you like to do, Shannon?
I'm going to go over to the bed, and I'm assuming that Ben is a right-handed person. I don't know, but probability states. So I'm going to put it down in front of where his hand is and very quietly like whisper, "I'm here to help. What did you write for Rob?" is what I'm going to say.
His hand seems to be broken, but
Yeah.
his fingers creep out of the end of the plaster cast that he's in. And as you put the pen between like his forefinger and his middle finger, he's able to grip it. And you see it pause for a moment. And then you see it begin to write. And when you look down, it says Grimlock with a question mark.
She whispers, "Yeah."
He starts to kind of write, but it's over the Grimlock that he's already written, as if he's spatially unaware of where the paper is. And he writes out Emerald Ball.
Homecoming. Okay.
You see him tap the pen against the paper.
Okay. What's going to happen?
You see him draw not a word, but you see him draw an icon. It's a face, very angular, with sort of almost arrow ridges that go up and cut down. And because of your earlier role, Meta, to make Shannon a super nerd, you would realize that this symbol is the Decepticon symbol.
Okay. Okay. She's gonna ask, "Ben, do you want me to get you out of here?"
He pauses for a second and then he starts to write. And he says, or writes, "No, I can hear them." And that's where you realize the source of the light is coming from the heart monitor. It's not making any sounds, but you see a red thump thump,
Mm-hmm.
thump thump going across the screen.
Are they here?
It taps once against the paper.
Are you in danger?
It pauses. And at this point, there's a kind of a mess in the area that he's writing. You're probably gonna have to move the paper a bit to give him like a new surface, which I'm
Right.
assuming, yeah. It pauses and he says, "We're all in danger."
Do you know anything about the what was it? What did they formerly call the plans that Mitch built?
Cybertron.
Cybertron, sorry. Yeah. Do you know anything about the Cybertron build?
You see a question mark drawn.
Okay, that answers that question.
All of a sudden, you hear an increase in the tap behind you as an audible component creeps into this machine. And instead of the thump, thump, just the beat, the silent beat, you actually hear almost like a radio frequency. And he begins to write. And you see him write faster, and he begins to underline what he's written over and over, and he's tapping the pen against what he's written.
What does it say?
Devastator. Let's cut back out to the outside as you all ride up to the outside of the hospital. What would you like to do as Rob is on the floor? But at this point, everybody inside seems to be more concerned with the fact that they have a hospital probably full of patients, many of whom require electricity to probably keep breathing or stay healthy or be without pain or have a baby or other things. So as it's pretty quickly found out that Rob, while his pulse is accelerated, is in no danger of expiring, he is given ice chips to chew on, left with one nurse as everybody else kind of splinters around. What would you like to do?
He's been moved, right? Ben has been moved since the
Yeah,
first
he's
time
from-
we went.
From ICU down here to, it's right off of emergency. It's down in extended care, which is kind of like a monitored unit that's close to the emergency unit because emergency usually has the most personnel.
And Rob is sitting with a nurse. Right?
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
a nurse is still with Rob as Rob is chewing on ice chips, or he's been given ice chips. I don't know if Rob would chew on them.
Guys, I got this.
Rob is crunching the shit out of some ice chips.
Super
Guys,
good.
I can get Rob out of this one. 1 second.
What are you gonna hit on her?
How does that nurse look?
40.
Now,
40.
roll me an investigate check.
Here we go. 1 success.
You would recognize this nurse from the last time that you all were in the hospital after the evening in which Ben was hit. It's not the EMT that brought you in here, but it was the nurse who she talked to. She's probably in her mid to late 20s. You're pretty sure her name is Kathy. You're not 100% positive.
Kathy, I remember this one. Guys, I got this. Let's go. So I go in. Grandfather, you gotta stop running off like this. I'm sorry, ma'am. He's really dramatic. I gotta take him back and get him back to the house and everything. Sorry to oh, is that ice? Nice. All right.
Hi, Georgie.
Yeah, you're doing all right. Yeah, I think he's fine, ma'am. I think we could go ahead and take him. How are you doing, Kathy? It's been a while since I saw you. You're looking better. You're looking younger.
Thank you. She stands up, kind of brushes off her scrubs that she has on. As long as you think he's going to be okay, is he prone to these fits or?
Oh, he served in Vietnam. He's okay.
He's 12. Is that a joke? Roll a charm.
He killed Fitty Man.
I killed Vinny Man.
3.
Jesus, no.
So she laughs a little bit. So she's okay. And she kind of salutes down at Rob. You take it easy, General.
I used to be taller. They took machines.
Why are you like this?
You knew what it was when you asked me to play.
All right. It's time to move on.
She smiles. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be, causing a ruckus. She's at the very least it's a bit of comedy to kind of lighten the mood of a darkened hospital. George, you would begin to hear that there are, and Rob would too, not necessarily shouts of alarm, but shouts of not, they can't communicate with a PA system or anything like that anymore. So you hear almost like a relay system going from the emergency room further into the hospital, and just these varying kind of weird like health telephone.
I have an aneurysm as a free action. What just happened? I think, fuck me. Mitch is looking around and he's trying to he sees what's happening and his eyes roll so hard his whole head moves, and he's looking to see if he can find some direction to where Ben might be. A loose clipboard, an inattentive nurse's station, something to expedite this process, because he doesn't know what Butts is actually trying to do.
Roll an investigate check for me.
Absolutely. Boom. No.
You look around, and as you have mentioned with the narrative, you haven't been in here, so you don't know exactly where you're supposed to be looking, where you're supposed to be going. And with the lights off, it's very difficult to kind of orient yourself, especially when you go deeper into the hospital, which away from the edges where there is light and window and door, it's very dark.
Shit.
You see the people producing flashlights, but they don't seem to be turning on.
Yeah, he just kind of he goes to the hallway that's farthest away from where Butts and Rob are doing whatever they're doing. He's like, Shannon. And he's just trying to quietly call down the hallway to see if, and then if he gets no response, he moves to another hallway. Shannon. And he's doing that whisper shout.
Okay, so heightened stage whispers. What's Jerry doing right now?
Probably following behind Mitch. Once he realized Rob wasn't in danger. No, he'd probably actually stop with Rob and be like, "What's going on? Why'd you call?" You are muted.
Double muted.
I don't know what's going on. There was a whole process of things that happened that I was unaware of.
In
All
game
right.
and out of game.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Is this after old Butts comes and saves Grandpa, right?
Oh yeah, after
Okay.
Jerry had to see that play out because
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Rob's just going to give you a rundown. Ben wrote Emerald Ball, and then I saw Decepticon in the monitor, and
wait, you left him alone?
well, the guy was shoving me out of the room. I'm 12.
Lead us back.
And is there just a free shot to Ben's room? Is everybody preoccupied with the power outage?
Yeah, people were preoccupied, and you guys are already sort of in the hospital. So I'll make you guys roll sneak rolls to get down there, but I will give you guys it won't be nearly as difficult for, if one of you fails, it's more of a group thing. But that's whoever wants to roll and go down that direction. Okay. So yeah, you guys are able to creep and go down the hallway, and we're going to say for narrative's sake, you're able to kind of scoop in. You hear the whispers of Mitch as he's going through Shannon. You're able to kind of bring him over as Rob knows the way pretty much through the darkened corridors of the hospital. As you round the corner into that room, you guys see at the opposite end of the hallway an orderly walking towards the room. Rob, you would recognize this as the same orderly that ushered you out. He seems to be walking directly towards Ben's room.
Rob's going to do a thing that he just remembered he could do, and he's going to throw down the visor and take a look at this guy before he either panics or panics. Depends on the severity. Is he panicking because there's an adult coming and catching them doing kid things in an adult place, or is this a evil robot from imaginary outer space? I don't know.
Okay, so with those two choices, as you drop the visor down and look, and as this is the first time that you've used this particular power, I think it only fitting, if you are at your playlist, everyone, please cue up Stan Bush's The Touch as you drop your visor into place, and as it pulls down, you hear both in your ears and see with your eyes. It's still human, but there is red light emanating from the eyes. And when you look at your friends, they look the same. And in your ears, you hear, Decepticon.
Well, that's a confusing emotion that Robert has right now, because his friends and that guy look exactly the same, and Optimus just called them Decepticons.
Well, no, your friends look normal with the visor down, but this person has red glowing eyes when you pull the visor down.
Okay, you said the guy had red glowing eyes, and then you said you looked at your friends and they looked the same, and you meant the same as me, not the same as that guy.
Yes, yeah.
And okay.
Yes, they look the same as they do with the visor up as they do with the visor.
Okay. Rob's gonna. Is he? I'm guessing I'm leading this pack of people into Ben's room.
I think in Rob's mind, he's always leading them,
Okay.
even if he's not. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and say that you are leading the group.
Fair enough. He's gonna see him and kind of give like the hold command. Decepticon. And he's gonna kind of say it, not yell it, but depends on how far away that guy is before if he hears me or not.
Is he walking towards us?
I thought
Straight in the direction of a room. Rob would be able to tell you that is Ben's room if you're able to. You guys are heading the same direction.
Okay.
But before we go any further, we're going to cut back into said room as that frequency kind of beats through with the red, and Ben has just scribbled the word Devastator, and the pen is pointing against the paper. Roll me an investigate check, Shannon.
Success.
As you are sitting there staring at this paper in the low light, the red pulse giving you just enough to read the word Devastator, your senses give you two gifts. The first gift is the sound of construction equipment in the nearby construction yard. Normally, that wouldn't give you any type of pause, but as it appears that all electrical devices have been turned off, the actual moving of construction equipment is an oddity. The other thing that strikes you as curious is the very feline growl you hear coming from beneath Ben's bed.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna look under the bed. That's what Shannon would do.
All right, so we cut back out into the hall as Shannon slowly looks beneath the bed. And as Shannon looks beneath the bed, we have the group of George, Rob, Jerry, and Mitch heading towards the room with a person that Rob has identified as a Decepticon heading towards the room as well. Boys, what will we do here?
Mitch looks to Jerry and says, Jerry, get him.
Jerry gets him.
Yeah.
Jerry, how are you gonna get him?
He'll probably just charge him and try to like pin him up against the wall before he gets to the room.
Okay. Go right ahead and roll me. Oh, give me a force check as you guys see Jerry break ranks as he gets him. Jerry,
Gets him.
Jerry, you run over and almost, like a linebacker, throw the shoulder in to take down the runner. And as you hit him, you realize that none of that electricity that has jolted from your body before at any type of physical exertion or heightened state of emotion appears. It's as if it is dampened with the rest of Garrett. And as you hit, you feel the man take a half step back, but the rest of you watch as he reaches down, picks up Jerry, and lifts him up by the front of his shirt. Jerry, your feet are about 2 to 3 feet off the ground as he lifts Jerry up. What would the rest of you like to do?
Panic.
Free action, yes.
Rob just goes fetal. That's his go-to move.
He plays dead. It was his only choice.
Oh, man, I don't...
Need a better plan.
I think...
As Jerry's feet are kicking, right?
Man, fuck. Mitch goes under the guy's legs and past him. Right? He's blocking the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes under Jerry's kicking legs and under the orderly's legs and into Ben's room.
And what are George and Rob doing as you see? I'm going to need a move roll from Mitch as he attempts to do this, and then I need to know what George and...
2 successes.
Okay. George and Rob doing.
George is muted.
George is muted.
I'm trying to ask how thick you are. Are you a big boy or are you a thin boy?
He's a big boy. Jerry?
2 C's or...
Yeah, 2 C's, yeah.
At least.
I meant you, Rob.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the orderly.
No. I already know. Jerry.
No, Rob is El Skinito. That's
All right.
Spanish for the skinito.
You're shorter than me, right?
I'd say we're probably on the same height.
All right. Rochambeau, one of us is the table, the other one's the pusher. So,
Yeah. So,
So as you guys stop to rock, scissors, paper as this shit's going down, I want you guys to do it on camera. Rock, scissors, paper, and tell me whoever wins gets to pick to do what. So we know, so everybody knows when you guys, Rochambeau. So if you win, you're the pusher or the table?
When you win, you're the pusher.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that guy's going to fall on top of you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to scramble. It's a shooter situation.
Yeah, which obviously I should be the pusher since I'm the smaller of the two of us.
No,
I
you
feel-
need more mass behind it.
No, yeah, to push.
To push, yeah, but you don't
Yeah.
have the mass.
Yeah, exactly. So
You need the table then. All right, cool. We don't have to Rochambeau. We already got this nailed
I
down.
like that this conversation
Hold on,
is
we're
happening.
Done. Okay, so we're gonna just say, for the sake of now, you guys have you've prodded the GM. I am going to say whoever wins the rock, scissors, paper is the one that has to push, just because of the way things are playing out here.
All right.
So if you guys lift your hands up to, and I'll count out 3, and when I say 3, you guys flex your paper, rock, or scissors. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, winner. So we've got
You better fuck this up. I hope you fuck this up so bad.
we've got the as luck would have it, or as fate would have it, or in this instance as rock, paper, scissors would have it. the pusher here is going to be Robbo, and it is not drugs that he is pushing. It is the will of Optimus Prime and the safety of his friends as the table becomes George Butts. And George, as you drop down into perfect table position, I'm going to let both of you roll a force roll as you're doing this together. In fact, I will allow either a force or a move roll from either or both of you. We will add successes together as this is a tag team maneuver. Jerry, you have nothing in this except for a ride, potentially. Okay, and I will ask both. You have one success already, but would anyone like to use their luck, or would anyone like to use their pride to make sure this works? You are muted.
You're muted.
I was testing you. I don't have pride for this one, so I will use a luck point. Not my day.
Okay, so now the push is going to work. It's just the toppling part that's going to be difficult. So with enough force, both of kind of like a counter lever with Jerry and with Rob hitting this orderly, he does in fact tilt to the point where the two of you are, with push and Jerry falling with it, are moving backwards. And George, you look up just in time to see the tumble that becomes a mass of arms, legs, friends, and Decepticon. As we cut back inside, as Mitch is able to go through the legs before they fall, he reaches into the room. And as you go into the room, we're going to go back and do a little repeat like we did back in the day. And I would again, like You Got the Look by Prince to cue up, as you come into the room just as Shannon is peeking under the bed. Shannon, as you look under, darkness lives here. This is the realm of shadow. There's no light that aids or assists you. And as you peek, you can see that lightness on the opposite side of the bed that indicates a direct path. And as your eyes scan from right to left, you see an area in the middle beneath the bed goes completely black. And then beyond it, you again see the light gray as it passes through. It takes you but a beat to realize something is down there. And that beat is ended with the illumination of two red eyes, 6 to 7 inches from your face, as you hear the and as Mitch, you walk in, you see a red glow emit from underneath, and you hear the growl. What would you both like to do?
Is she on the... Well, muted. Is she on the other side of the bed?
She's closest to you. So as soon as you walk into the room, you can see Ben on the bed, Shannon leaning down and looking underneath it, and a red light begin to kind of pull from beneath.
Is the thing going boop boop? And is that red too? The heart monitor?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and say that you can see that the monitor is doing that, and there seems to be a kind of a whispery radio kind of beneath it.
I think Mitch acts on full instinct, having... This is like the 5th encounter with some kind of monstrosity. I think he just runs and, like, shoulder checks her out of the way. That's what I'm going to attempt to do.
Shannon, that's the attempt that's being initiated by Mitch. What would Shannon like to do as you are face-to-face with whatever this is?
I mean, she's not going to panic. She's seen some weird shit constantly happening. So her initial instinct is, if she's going off her nerd rage here on what Ben said, she's like, okay, bad situation, could be possibly way worse if she does anything stupid. So I think that she would very slowly try to kind of like, because she's on her hands and knees because she had to go look under the bed. So I think she would very slowly like try to start sliding back. Guessing it's like a linoleum floor, so it shouldn't be very resistant.
Right.
But yeah, she's just gonna try to do this slowly. She doesn't at this point, I don't think, realize that Mitch is even in the room. Depending on how loud they were outside to say get him when they went to go try to tackle the orderly, I don't know how alerted she would be. Like, I don't know how loud it was. So
Yeah, we're gonna say that without a roll required, this was not a ninja execution by the group outside, as there was a, Jerry being lifted and hoisted, and then just a collapse of what sounded like somebody dropping a bag full of bricks.
okay, so she knows that somebody is out there. Probably she can recognize the voices. Yeah, she's still gonna very slowly back away. Knowing that they're in a very precarious position right now. And she doesn't know how many there are in the area, and like that construction supposedly noise outside that she knows isn't supposed to be there right now, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
Okay, so what we're gonna say is, since both of you are basically doing the same type of movement, no roll required as you're going in the right direction, but almost kind of as Mitch slides towards you to get you out of there and you slide away, narratively, you're correct. This is a linoleum floor. You continue your slide as the two of you kind of turn into one and surf across the floor, just as a metallic paw reaches out and swipes where your face was.
Yeah.
It makes as it goes across the same linoleum, and you see the entirety of Ben's bed as something beneath is large enough to cause that movement and cause the bed above to shake with said movement. Outside, though, all of you drop into the ground. Each of you roll me a move or force check to extract yourself from the pile, and we will see if we are all... Okay, 2 of the 3 succeeded. So Rob and Jerry, you're able to pull yourselves up, and just as the orderly is reaching for George, you guys are able to kind of rip him away as well, as the orderly is still lying on his back, and you see his feet begin to slide on the linoleum, almost like he's preparing to do a crunch. It goes up, keeps going until the back of his heels reach his ass, and you see him begin to stand up from this almost impossible, as far as balance and geometry are concerned. He is rising as if he is some type of toll bridge anchored to the ground. At this point, the 2 that are inside have been able to slide their way out into the hall. The group is together, and I would like everyone to roll an investigate check for me, please.
I just want to point out that when this happens and she basically gets body checked by Mitch, she'd be like, what the hell? Yelling and being like, trying to get up off the ground and all this.
Mitch, fully aware that they've been told before that they're being spied on. I think as soon as Shannon goes to like start saying something, he like covers your mouth and looks panicked and keeps shaking his head no. But like he gets up, like he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Did we all roll shit just now?
No, I rolled 2 successes.
Oh, okay.
Mitch, as you guys are all kind of bundled up and kind of rushing down the hallway or kind of moving away from the orderly, as you pull back from the area and get close to one of the windows and the non-operative open and closed emergency doors, you see an explosion of light outside as a column of red emanates from nearby, and the Autobot symbol splashes along a cloud-lined area of the now darkening Garrett, Maryland sky.
Do I know where it is? Like where the point
Looks
of origin?
Certainly looks like it's coming from the school.
And Robo Nanny is there in the doorway again.
Ben is cut off from you guys because Robo Orderly is standing between you all and Ben. And there is something in the room with Ben
Shannon's gonna try to pull on like whoever's closest to her and be like, "We have to go."
Probably Mitch. The school. We have to go to the school right now.
Yeah, the ball.
What? Who gives a shit? We have to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Come on.
Okay.
Ben doesn't want to leave.
Okay, fine. The emergency door doesn't open at all.
It was frozen in a like being halfway open and halfway closed. People can kind of sideways lead through it. So yeah.
Okay,
it's
we
open.
can escape through it.
Yes, you and Shannon have said you were going to do so, but what about Rob, George, and Jerry? Are you following? Or are you doing anything different?
I don't think we have any reason to not follow.
Yeah, I feel like we're like, let's get out of here, guys, man. Just kind of like following the whole gang.
Okay, you are not being followed from the outside, but when you're not being followed from the inside, but when you get outside, you see that there are several pieces of heavy machinery. There's a backhoe, a bulldozer, there's a mixer truck. They all seem to be moving. And as they kind of gear up towards the construction fencing that separates the parking lot from the hospital, you see them almost as if they are inching along the fencing, similar to the way a great cat in a zoo would track prey that has come to watch it. But you are able to get back to your bikes that are either motorized or pedal powered. And Shannon, it is at that time you realize your bike does not start.
Yeah. Meta realized that as soon as that happened earlier. Shannon's pissed. Mostly because she now has to ride on the back of somebody else's bike. Shit. Okay. Guys, my bike's not working.
Yeah, nothing's working.
Well, I can see the power's out. Does that mean
All the
the radios
cars.
are and everything else is broken too?
Everything, all the cars, all the radios, except for those construction vehicles
Great.
And the
Great.
Decepticons.
and the Decepticons.
Oh yeah, that's no problem. By the way, Devastator mean anything to you guys? Because that's happening. That's coming.
Shit.
What?
That's the construction vehicles.
I get that. I'm just letting you know that's what Ben was talking about. Why does Ben know about that?
I don't know. I didn't talk to Ben. Either way, we have to go. We can talk on the ride.
Oh yeah, let's just go 3 miles per hour on these pedal bikes.
You can walk.
7.
I could walk faster than you guys could pedal at this point.
Well then, fine. You can hop on these pegs or you can walk. Either way, we have to go to the school.
Great. She'll go to the pegs, basically.
That's what I thought.
You're such an asshole.
My God, I thought I was there. I could just see the riding. You guys are able to get to the school. Everything is decorated for homecoming. The actual dance isn't supposed to take place for several hours, but you're able to find your way into the gym as this column of red light seems to be emanating from the very site of the dance. Are you going inside?
Guys, when I was running away from the post office and the robots were chasing me, the Decepticons, I thought I could slow them down with water, and Mr. Derry, he zapped them with an electrical cord. He knew what they were. I think he even called them robots.
Well, we don't have electricity, genius.
No, I understand, but Derry knows something. Remember when we talked about... we talked about the crystal, and he knew about the crystal, but he didn't want to tell us something. He was acting weird, and now he knows about the robots. We have to go see him.
How do you even know he's where you think he is?
He's got a chaperone.
What if he's not there?
Then he knows there's something in his office. Maybe there's something written down. Maybe there's... Who turned this light on? Maybe he's Optimus.
What if he's inside?
Yeah, that's... Where else would he be?
You just said he was at a showroom.
No, at the school, at classroom.
Classroom or showroom? Which one is it?
The classroom, his classroom. Or
Okay.
on the dance floor, I don't know. Where chaperones go. I don't go to school dances.
You're the worst when you're panicking. Oh my
I went
god.
to the
Okay,
one
we're
and
gonna
robots
go
attacked us.
in the classroom.
Suddenly, I'm not such a pain in the ass, am I?
No, he's so much worse.
I hate
Rob's gonna say, Mitch, just breathe.
Shut up, Rob.
Okay, where's this classroom? Do I know where the classroom is for this person?
Yeah, Shannon, you're
Okay.
you aware of where Mr. Derry, his science lab is, but whenever you get there, it is dark.
He's our science teacher. God, how did you not know that, Shannon? Go to school.
It's like you've been thrown into 7-8 weeks of canon and
She
expect
doesn't
to
care about
absorb it all.
science.
That's right. 14-year-olds are in high school anyway.
Yeah,
Fine.
she's super rebellious and she's like, whatever, I'm not even going to pay attention to class because I'm smarter than all these teachers because teen angst. So
Perfect.
anyway, this is
Perfect.
truth. Okay, guys, don't deny it. Yeah, we're going to go inside. I think that if it's dark, I think that Shannon would like creak open the door quietly and try to see if she can't see if anyone's inside or anything like that. She might even just sneak in.
Yeah, it's dark everywhere in the school. However, because of the layout of this school, you can see that with the gym and the kind of the cafeteria being in a central area, that there is a very distinct red bleed of light that's coming from the gymnasium. Other than that, the rest of the place is very dark. And as the night sky turns darker, with the exception of the red light, the rest of the place seems dark and unoccupied.
Mr. Derry. Mr. Derry. Are you here?
No.
I don't think he's here.
Mr. Derry, Mr. Derry.
I don't think
So
either.
start looking around for whatever you think he knows or has.
Yeah, he goes to the. Is this like a science lab, or do you have like an actual desk here? Like we got like Bunsen burners and shit, gas pipes.
Roll me and investigate. Yes, all of those things are correct. There's Bunsen burners, the old kind of black-topped desks.
Yeah.
You
with
look
the fire
around
hose.
and yeah, you see that there's just stacked up, papers and worksheets to be handed out next week or the following day. And as you're kind of looking through all of this, the rigmarole of being a science teacher, the only thing that strikes you as odd is there appears to be a pair of work boots and a hard hat.
Do they have anything on them? Like there's no like a sticker or like logo on it or anything like that.
Nope, nothing.
Hmm.
Just like the webbing inside, but nothing carries a mark on it.
Is it ANSI certified?
It's the 80s, so no, some bitch would probably crack if you dropped an egg on it.
OSHA hasn't existed yet. He kind of like holds it up and says, "Why the hell do we need this? We don't use this in class."
Could
Guys,
be from his loop days. I don't know. Or he's doing extracurricular stuff, man.
yeah, that's the question. But
Yeah.
Personal
Well,
protective.
let me just
equipment is
define that
very
out of
important.
nowhere. Like, you're asking us questions we don't have the clearly answers to, man.
where else could you use these?
Construction sites.
What if he's one of the village people?
What?
I mean, if we're just gonna make baseless guesses,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You know
what
what?
the-
I see Rob's point. I see his point.
the guy might like to do building stuff. Like building guys. Rob's so detached, he doesn't understand. He doesn't know, like, they're just the builder people. There's no difference to him between carpenters, construction workers, welders. There's the builder.
Yeah, Rob. I'm sure he
They're
likes
just
to do.
dudes.
He likes to do building stuff in his free time, and then he brings his work boots and hat to school.
If teachers don't make a lot of money, makes sense.
Whatever. I
It
didn't
doesn't
find anything
matter.
else.
Trying to guess why it's here is irrelevant. What do we
Why are we
need to
looking
help
for
us?
him?
What can we do here that can potentially help us, in a difficult situation?
Mitch,
Yeah.
I mean, explosives? I don't know how to make explosives, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
When Commissioner Gordon turned on the bat signal,
Yes.
where did he wait for Batman?
On the roof.
On the roof, at the bat signal.
Oh God.
The Autobot signal is on. We got to go find where the Autobot signal is.
That's a better idea than turning on all the Bunsen burners.
Why would you turn
Batman's
on...
still stupid, by the way.
Superman's where it's at.
Oh, gross.
Fine. Did anyone see any red light glowing from anywhere? Does anyone know where the roof is?
Can we get maybe like some flashlights or something from the janitor's closets or
They don't
whatever?
work.
I can't really see in the dark. Can you?
They don't work. The people in
Yeah,
the hospital...
Battery
had-
powered?
The people in the hospital had them. Our radios are battery powered too. They don't work either. Nothing works.
Okay. We're in a science lab. Obviously, we could make something here, right?
Like,
That's what I'm thinking.
we could light a candle.
We gotta be careful with that, guys. First.
Potatoes.
Okay, I don't think there's potatoes here, but other chemicals. What was the theme of the Emerald Ball?
Wizard of
It-
Oz.
The homecoming dance. I'm asking out of character.
Oh,
Sorry.
The Emerald Ball is a generic because the town colors are green. The Emerald Ball is just basically always kind of like a Wizard of Ozzy type of Emerald City
Oh.
type of loosely,
So
associated.
no chance of glow sticks.
no.
Damn it.
maybe
It's
there's
not-
spare phosphorus in the science lab.
Oh yeah, sure.
Guys, we should have stopped by the Wraith House.
Technically, you only need like hydrogen peroxide and I don't know, like one or two other chemicals to make pseudo fake light.
It's true.
That's explosive. That's a little bit.
It's bright, though.
Hey, yeah,
It
you're supposed to be playing a fake nerd, okay?
So would there be...
I'm not even... Oh,
So I know we used candles in my science lab. Would there be candles here?
Yeah, we'll say you can absolutely find some candles that would be used to, perform, where you're heating or controlled heat and open flame on, various points. Yeah, candles would definitely be.
Candles will totally scare the Decepticons 100%.
What else do you want?
You're getting a lot of criticism. For no
I'm
reason.
just making sure that we understand the expectations of what we're doing here, which is
Listen.
candles aren't really going to help.
Listen,
And
we've been fighting them for months.
okay, light your candle. Go ahead, just light the candle,
Finds like a lighter and lights the candle. Oh, Jerry has a lighter.
and then she blows it out
Jerry
immediately.
doesn't have a
She
lighter.
just blows it out immediately. See?
Okay, then fucking look in the dark.
Okay, it's fine.
It's better than nothing. It provides some kind of light.
Okay.
You were the one complaining about it.
I was just saying. Wait, I don't know. Are there like oil lamps, maybe?
Yeah.
There are no oil lamps.
It's the 1980s, not the 1880s.
Shannon asks anyway because she has no idea what kind of crap there might be around.
Actually, is there? Speaking of oil lamps, is there one of those like? I guess it's not acetylene. What's the old school camping lights that have a bag that fills up with gas? You know what I'm talking about, Greg?
Kerosene.
Kerosene.
It's a tiny
Kerosene.
little kerosene here. Would there be one of those? I feel like there would.
No,
be.
there's just not fuel lying around.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
figured
kerosene
they
in a
would.
jar. Like that.
Let's put a bunch of explosives in a children's
In
school.
a school, yeah. It's the 80s. It was a
It is the
carefree,
80s.
it was a
Yeah,
carefree
it's the
time.
80s.
Oh yeah, 100% explosive materials throughout, probably not even
With all that
locked.
asbestos, I'm sure it's real good.
Yeah. you just pick it
Lead
up in a
paint.
jar. They preserved it. Yeah, this is all I
also,
have.
you guys have some candles going. You guys, maybe I'll even give you a makeshift like mop torch. How's that? You guys are able to dip it in
Mop
some,
torch.
a mop torch. You guys found the maintenance room. You're able to dip it into something that you believe to be rubbing alcohol.
paint
So you have like a
thinner.
blue as you are taking it
We have
through.
a mop full of paint that are just dripping little fireballs off of it as we're walking around.
And I want Mitch to be carrying it because it was probably his idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's just dripping and he's trying to pretend like it's all cool and it's like, no, it's cool. But he's like trying to keep it so far away from his jacket.
Yeah, and away from the fire alarms.
Yeah,
He's
no,
just
it's
holding it
cool.
horizontally.
It's working. I swear.
Wait, wouldn't the fire alarms help with Decepticons? Don't they
No,
melt the
it didn't.
water?
It didn't help at all.
What?
Yeah, I broke a water fountain and it spread all over him, and it didn't do anything. It wasn't until he got electrocuted. Mr. Derry electrocuted him with a broken extension cord.
I wasn't paying attention. All right.
Anyway, either of you two criminals know how to get to the roof?
Jesse, so Shannon's gonna grab like a fire extinguisher and bring it with her.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Fire extinguishers are a motif of both attack and defense in this game. So, as George will tell you, the fire extinguisher is a very viable accessory.
Yeah.
And we say that we've got several degenerates in this group. So, yeah, you guys know how to get to the roof. Shannon probably faster than all of you knows how to get to the roof. But should you wish to go up there, please let me know in what order you ascend to the top of Edgar Allan Poe Middle.
Does she have a motorcycle for the roof too?
I forgot to tell you guys about my helicopter.
Jetpack, right?
She pulled it
It's
out.
one of those
toy.
special helicopters that's not affected by electrical issues.
Yeah.
You guys don't have grappling guns?
It's a complete manual helicopter.
I have one of those things that cuts glass with a little suction
it's the
cup.
bicycle
the whole
helicopter.
thing. I have a
It's
spy.
just-
Helicopter.
My real name's
Yeah.
Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, I think does Mitch lead the way with a giant fucking torch?
Yeah, with your dripping mop torch.
The dripping mop torch?
As you open up the door, that kind of, it's not a hatch, it's an actual, the stairwell leads up. So it's a rise up the top of the roof, and the door opens normally onto the roof itself. And as you look out onto the roof, you see four figures standing there.
I just want to say.
Recognize
Oh,
them
sorry.
all.
Sorry.
We recognize them all?
Oh. Yep.
Who are they?
What was Rob gonna say?
I was gonna say Mitch probably sees first if he's leading the way with his torch, because we're gonna let him get all the way up and out so we don't get paint thinner fire dripped on us.
That's true.
So Mitch is probably gonna see whatever it is first and have a good minute before the rest of us get up there.
Okay. So is everybody else holding back and letting Mitch go first with his
Oh, hell no.
fire? Okay.
The fire mop.
So Shannon's
Shannon's
going
with.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else going up to the roof, or everybody else holding back with the fire mop? Or
I mean,
I
I
believes we're going to find Commissioner Gordon up there, so he's kind
I
of.
mean, I'm going up there just after Mitch.
Okay, so we're just going to say that you all kind of collect at the top, and as you look out, you see that this column of red light is displaying a perfect circle into the night air, the Autobot symbol. And as you look forward, you see Sam, Veronica, Chris, the boy who has been in a mental asylum, and Mr. Derry, all staring at the Autobot symbol. And as you all turn and look up, Mr. Derry looks back at you, as do all of the others. Mr. Derry says, "I knew you guys could see it too. I guess you better call me Spike." And that's where we'll end this session of Atari Twilight.
Fuck! That's awesome. Oh, man. Meta, welcome. Welcome to the shit show.
Thanks.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I hope I contributed.
Oh, man. I hope you had as much fun as we had. I know I'm a huge Transformers nerd, and so I'm nerding out. But this is dope. This is pretty much every show. It's nonsense, and then Greg does that, and then we all freak out, and then he does it again next week. It's pretty awesome. So let's go around, do our introductions, get your thoughts on this episode, and let's get the hell out of here. We'll start with the illustrious Metamancer. Meta, who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of your first episode of Atari Twilight?
Hi guys. I don't even understand. So the first episode for me was very interesting. It didn't take me too long to catch up, I think. I am not like a massive Transformers nerd. It's been a long time since I even cared about Transformers, but I like it. I like mech and tech stuff. So yeah, I loved the awkward. First of all, I like Tales from the Loop. I GM'd it before. I never got to play myself. So It's nice to be able to play it as a player, and I thought it was really cool. I like that you guys have a very interesting interaction with one another. Like there's like the awkwardness is there. You guys are definitely, I've never actually RP'd with any of you except for Mike and Greg. So yeah, it's really nice. I like it so far. Keep it up, right? But yeah, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel and on Twitter. Metamancer and the Metamancer. And
Awesome.
yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We have, what is this, like 6 more-ish? What is that number? 3, 5, 4? I don't know. We have a number of more episodes left, and it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. So welcome to Garrett, Maryland. I hope you enjoy your time here. Let's jump over to Rhino. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of today's episode?
Hi, so I'm Mike the Anonymous Rhino. Find me on Twitter at BaloneySlap. I don't know who Spike is, but I'm interested.
I'll explain later.
Okay.
Perfect. Frags, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you? And what did you think of today's episode?
Yeah, KW Frags, here, there, everywhere, Twitter. Yeah, it was a change. I don't know. The calling everybody into the hospital was a risky move, but it panned out. So
That's good shit. That was good shit.
yeah. So, and I too don't know who Spike is. So I will hear about who that is through Rhino when you tell him.
Perfect. Mr. Bitters, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of today's episode?
I'm Mr. Bitters. I hate everything. And I also miss all references, so I'm just going to be upfront that I also don't know who Spike is. And we'll all be versed by next week through Mike's story to Rhino to Kendall to me.
Perfect.
But yeah, tonight's session was pretty good. It was better when I had superpowers.
I bet it was. Let's jump right over to Mr. Greg. Greg, who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of Thundercats Ho?
Greg Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. Meta, thank you so much for joining in with this circus, as these guys are hilarious and they're super fun to be a part of in this little thing that we're doing. I like the fact that I have to progress a narrative here, and now that we're through this particular scene and we've introduced Shannon into everything, I should be able to continue with regularly scheduled program next week. But I really kind of like this because I expected the hospital scenario to actually take place 2 episodes ago, because I thought that there would be more interaction with Ben. And I like that it occurred now, because I thought that it gave an interesting little segue to the moment at the signal calling. So I liked it quite a bit. I love this game. I will have another I will save the title of the episode for the Spotify playlist that will be dropping tomorrow morning, as episode 9 comes into us, or comes from the 80s to us here in 2018 next Tuesday, or next Wednesday. Next Monday.
One of those days. You'll get it.
I'm going to go to sleep. I'll see you guys later. See you next week.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I'll remind you guys, we do have a sponsor for this entire season, is the Dice of Rolling. They are a full set of polyhedral dice with optimized quantities for DD5E. Go check them out. They're great for brand new players. They're great for the holidays. Also, we just launched our Patreon, and our Patreon is going towards paying this cast, all the casts on the show, getting some cash back in the pockets of these awesome guys for taking the time out of their lives to come over here and provide entertainment for you guys and have a good time and just, have a blast. So definitely go check that out. And we're going to go raid our friend the Bubbernaut, because, why not? He's a good dude. And he's currently playing, I believe, he's playing, what's that Cyberpunk game? It's Monday. He plays Cyberpunk on that game. I forget what it's called. Shadowrun, thank you. That's the damn name of it. So we're going to go raid the Bubbernaut. So guys, give him all of your hot, sticky raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.